Okay na. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Um, hmm, okay. Okay. All right. So, saan yung position akong chat? Okay. So, okay. So nag-stop ta sa kuan, di ba? Sa mga kuan na. So, mostly today, oh, ang mga companies or mga even government is using kuan kana web 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 applications or web tools to provide services uh, for the kuan kana for the industry, 'di ba? So that's why really web development is not just a simple thing in the industry. So this can be somehow, or maybe in the future can replace some of the desktop applications that we are using today, because there are a lot of genius people or smart people developing or improving web tools in order to have more features that that allows us developers to build more helpful tools for the community. So that's for the web development. So let's move on. So what is a framework? Since our topic for today is web development with Laravel. So Laravel is basically a framework. So as per definition, in computer programming, a software framework is an abstraction in which software providing generic functionality can be selectively changed by additional user written code, thus providing application specific software. So this is just a book definition pod. So basically, a framework is simple as um, tools or opinionated tools to build something or to build a product. Like it helps a developer or someone to build something with ready-made or upfront tools for you, like basic basic authentication or basic routing. Like a framework can be like a school, basically, because for example a school, yeah, well, we are going to school, right? We are going to school to enhance our skills, right? Improve our skills and to be a product when we graduated, right? So school has its framework where it gives us the ideas of how it looks like in the real world, diba? So it teaching us how to speak English. It teaches us how to solve problems. So basically, they have their ready-made tools or ready-made resources to build us or to improve us, to nurture us to be a good product after we graduated. So basically, that's a framework. So okay, that's a framework. So let's move on. So what is Laravel? So for definition, so Laravel is a free open source PHP web framework created by Taylor Otwell and intended for the development of web application following the model view controller architectural pattern and based on Symfony. So we have talked about um, framework, right? So Laravel is a framework, a PHP based uh, framework. So it helps. What it is actually doing is it helps us to build application with the help of a framework, right? So a framework contains uh, ready-made resources for us to build applications. So we don't need to build applications from scratch. So kapag kuan ka nang mag-build mo gutag application from scratch, it will take us so long to build without the ready-made resources. So like, for example, I want to build something um, uh, like social media platform, for example. So I need to build the login pages, the forget password, the routing, like all that kind of stuff, right? So is it more cool if you don't need to build those, the login pages or the login feature, because those kind of features are generic, right? Because most of the applications have authentication, basic routing, 'di ba? 'Di ba kanang pag mo login mo sa Facebook, 'di ba 'di ba naman yun ay login, 'di ba? Mo mo sa Facebook na login, Twitter naman ay login, Instagram na, 'di ba? So like most of the social media or most of the websites has authentication, basic authentication. So by means of using Laravel has its ready-made resources or ready-made features for us to utilize. So we don't need to build those generic and repetitive features, di ba? So lisod kay siya kanang kumbaga mas conscious ako, mas better siya ako as a web developer. Instead of building something in 3 days, I could build it in 1 day because I already have those basic features or the fundamental features of my application ready by the use of framework or by the use of by means of using Laravel. So kana siyang one instance is it's good for you, and as well it is good for your boss or company that is you're working on, di ba? Because lesser time to build, lesser cost, and lesser hassle for you as a developer. Because every day, me as a developer, every day, I encounter a lot of things, a lot, and I need to build a lot of things every day. So what I usually do is I would use Laravel framework to start up or to kickstart a project, di ba? So that way I could build the basic functionalities and do the most important features that we need to do. So so kumbaga hayahay because of the Laravel framework. So that's how I mean that's the overview what a Laravel what is Laravel framework, not just Laravel framework, but Laravel is one of the PHP based framework in the community right now. We have Codeigniter, um, Joomla, those kind of stuff in web like WordPress. There are a lot of things out there. Pero luckily we are talking now the most starred or the most popular PHP framework in the community, which is Laravel. So this is one or the most in demand framework in terms of in terms of jobs. So if you continue um, learning Laravel and apply jobs, surely or most likely you will be hired because there are many foreign countries or even here in the Philippines looking for a web developer or Laravel developer. Okay, so that's oops. Okay, that's Laravel. Okay, so for now, so enough for discussion. So if before we move on, I will allow you guys to ask questions if you have. So I can see the chat. So makita na ko ang chat. So if you have questions, any questions before we move, then you can ask me question. Or you can unmute yourself, Pod, if you have questions. No questions? So far, no questions. Okay, so enough for discussion. So, I mean, theory. So, okay, sir, pwede pabalik, discuss the framework, nga part, sir, kinawala among signal, ganyan nga, good, sir. Don't worry, we have kuan kanang recorded on kanang for this kuan event. So if you missed those, so pwede ninyo tanawon na ang recorded video so para ma mo. Okay? Okay, so let's move on. So earlier this morning, I've sent this to on the chat, and then I'm sure your teacher told you to install these tools before this event, right? So you need to install Laragon, Composer, Code Editor, Sublime or VS Code. I preferred VS Code. I personally prefer VS Code, Git Bash, and this one. So, okay, so ako na siyang ibutang sa chat karon balik. Then, while doing the demo, so mag-start na tag-demo karon. So while doing the demo or even sa lunchtime, you can install this. So para pag abot sa tong demo or your practical application sa inyong end, makakuha na mo dito. Para din kay it will take some time para i-download ng mga tools. Okay. So okay, let's wait. Okay, Laravel.com. So, okay, so first thing is, kung mag-start mo sa Laravel, piece of advice, so always refer to the documentation. Don't always refer to Stack Overflow. So, I know, familiar mo sa Stack Overflow because daghang mga kuha dito, mga answers and questions na related sa inyong mga issues. But first, if you want or need some answers, first look at the documentation, because before, in my experience manggod sa nag-start ako, I always look first in Stack Overflow, and then moto siya na then as years goes by ako nga instead of sige nag-add og Stack Overflow, why not view the documentation, read the documentation tarong kay naraman tanan features sa Laravel inside their documentation. So so read the documentation, and if wala mo makita, then Stack Overflow. Okay, so documentation. So how to install Laravel. So basically you have this requirements, server requirements, this one, and because I told you to install, diba, itong mga requirements. So you don't need to think about this because Laragon, asan na to siya dapita? This one, Laragon, install the necessary things that we need sa atong development. So, okay, so Composer po din kani editor. So I'm using VS Code, this one, using this, and I already installed Composer, code editor, and Git Bash. I already installed that, and then this one too. Okay, installing Laravel, so you need to have the Laravel installer itself. So yeah, so let's try to install it. So here I have my code editor. I would go to sites. So let me zoom it. So currently I have these applications in my computer. So if I do that, So these are the applications that I have built. So let's create new one for this demo. So let's Laravel new um, okay, Laravel demo DNSC and enter. So it's installing. So that's how you install. Basically, you cannot create a project without internet because kinahanglan nimo siya i-pull from the from their servers para nimo ma-install nimo ning a project. I mean, the default uh, code base for the Laravel. But then after you install the project, pwede na ka mag-work offline as long as you don't need online resources sa imong development. So it's installing. So today, while it's installing, so I'll give you an overview. So atong buhaton is a basic CRUD operation using Laravel to explain the kanang main functions of the Laravel framework. And then I'll explain MVC because Laravel framework is based, I mean, is following the model view controller pattern. So while waiting for that, um, let me show you this. So model view controller. So to those one nga wala opay knowledge about model view controller. Model view controller is a pattern where model is stands for or serves as the data layer of the application. View means the front end or the things that you can see sa inyong applications like login pages or even this page. This is a view. And then controller means this one is the layer where the application works, like from the word itself, controller. So it is the one who controls the application, like when to return a view, to return a page, when to return a data. So that kind of stuff. So that's really the simple explanation of model view controller. So wala siya wala na magic dra. Model is data, view is what you can see, controller is the controller of these two. So mo ni siya. One simple explanation na ning model view controller. So para wala wala may kuan sa so we move that out. So its application is ready and build something amazing. Okay, so let's open that project. Let's go ahead and open that in VS Code. There you go. So first thing you will see, or first thing nga yung makita in Laravel after installing is this bunch of files. Yeah. So basically, because I told you, diba, framework. So it has the ready-made resources or some of the features that we may need to build the application. So I would like to explain the project structure or files here. So first off is the app directory. So most likely your logics or business logics will live here. And as you can see, we have these models, right? So these models directory means that all your data or database database things or stuff or representing your database would be placed here. So like this user. So so after installing, the first model you will see is the user, because most of the application needs a user. So that's why Laravel made or put this here upfront or by default. So this is for the models. Then if you click here, we have the controllers. Controllers, what I've said, the ones who control the model view thing, right? So, muna siya. And yeah, muna siya ang controller. So, let's move on. And we have this bootstrap. So, deep ko ni siya kanang kumbaga topics Laravel, but you don't need this to know for now. So let's move on. Then this config folder holds the basic or the default configurations in your application. So like if you want to set the time zone of your application, you can click on app.php and search for like time zone. As you can see, the default time zone of Laravel is UTC. And we also have a bunch of other configurations like auth, broadcasting, cache, course, database. So database. So most likely you're familiar with this database. So MySQL, SQLite, so those kind of stuff, and other configurations that you might want to override in the future. Okay, database. So database is it explains itself. So we will gonna do most of our database stuff here. So let's just move on and let's just explain. Let's just leave this as database. So this is database, and this works with the database. So later, I will explain more about this folder. This is the public folder. This public folder can be publicly accessible in your application. So resources is most likely the view from the model view controller. So we have CSS, JS, lang for language, views for the views itself, yung mga kuan kanang HTML, HTML. So we have now routes. So this is one of the most important thing in Laravel or in a website. Routes means, for example, let me show you some quick example. Route means, for example, here, Laravel. Google is a domain, right? Domain. After the domain, this is the route. Like if you click, for example, this one for this website, and then click here, as you can see, after the domain, you see another string right after the domain, diba? So mo na ang routes. So in here, you will define all the routes that you might want to build. So by default, you would most likely go here, and in the web.php, we have the default kani siya nga route. So root, meaning any root domain. Okay, and then let's move on. Storage. So this storage is like can be used for storing files, storing videos, music, nga na siya. So, and also the logs of the application. So pag meron kayong error, so pag ingana, so pag na may error, mag-log na siya diri. And this is tests. So tests is kana siyang advanced na rin siya, pero to give you an idea, test is automated testing. Because for example, I'll give you an example. So like Facebook, for example. Facebook, before they launch or produce some feature, for example, makalike kag kuan, comment, or makalike kag post, for example. Do you think wala nila ginatest na? 'Di ba? For sure ginatest na nila sa ilahang kuan. Ginatest na nila ang um tawag ni pinatest nila ang ilang feature before launching, because if di nila i-test ilang feature, what would happen is maguba ang lang application, di ba? Maguba ang Facebook, di mo maka-chat, for example. Pero sa Facebook, there are a lot of features in Facebook. Daghan kay chat, video call, like, pages, daghan kay features sa Facebook. Do you think a person or a human can test all those features manually? Diba dili? So, what tests do, or automated test, it tests in behalf of the user, in behalf of a real human testing an application. So you can test like mag-comment, mag-post. So basically what this do is it helps the deployment or producing applications safely and 100% sure that all those things, all those new things we produce for the people are working. Diba? Okay, there might times nga, for example, kanang nag-work, I've added new feature, ganing a feature. But then you destroyed, or you kanang add more problems in the system. Wala ka kabalo nga nag-add of new problem. So by means of using tests, before you deploy or before you produce it, give to the people, you already know that nanay problems sa mga application, and that is a good thing sa inyong kuan, sa inyong company. And that will also lesser the cost, because developers are expensive. So tests are, if you know tests, if you can do tests, then surely 90%, 95% you'll be hired. Okay, so that's tests. Okay, so let's move on to vendor. So vendor are basically a bucket of resources that Laravel used. So basically, these are the packages that by default is, or out of the box, Laravel have. Because without vendor, everything will not work. If you remove this folder, everything will not work, basically. This this thing is so important. Then I don't need to explain most of these, but I'll explain this one. ENV, or environmental variables. ENV is where you will set your configuration, your custom configuration that will override our config files here. For example, DB connection. What would be the database we want, like MySQL? What's DB host? Like this is local host, right? DB port, database name, username, password. So basically, these are configuration to your application, and some of these below gives values to some of the features of Laravel. So more advanced features. Red mail, when sending mail or email, your application can send email. And AWS or Amazon services, Pusher for real-time applications, and Mix is for front end configs. So that's pretty much it for the ones project structure. So let's view this one. Let's view this project. So if you use Laragon, so if you install Laragon, this one, Laragon, what you can do is after you install something and put it in the root directory, the root directory in here, like Laravel demo DNSC, yep, it is here, right? So if you put the Laravel application here, you can take advantage of Laragon's automatic feature where that will add it that will add your application into virtual host. What does that mean is, okay, just click yes, and then if I go to the browser here and say Laravel demo DNSC dot test, wait, correct ba to? Ang name Laravel demo DNSC. Wait. Correct ba? Ako ang type. Okay. Namali akong type. So, okay, di ba? So, basically, Laragon can add your application right away as a local one. Mawala ang net money. Sila kailangan pa sa confirmation source. Okay. Pwede na mo login? Pwede mo login? Again. May nag-chat, nag-ingon nga dito sila kasulod. Nawala ang net, manigo, jelly, gusto sila kasulod, kailangan pa confirmation sa host. Can you join again? Pwede mo masulod balik? Sulon tam mo. Okay. Okay. So, continue. So, kato siya. So, Laragon will automatically give you a virtual host file and set up everything for you. So, if you use SAMP, so you will do that manually. If nagagamit mong SAMP, sa una, nagagamit kong SAMP, that luckily, I found Laragon. It helps me to set up everything out of the box. So, as you can see, di ba, I told you that in the routes, web.php, we have default route. This is the root, di ba? Returning a view, it returns the view welcome. So if you go to this view, it is in resources, views, and welcome.play.php. So if we go back, di ba, muna itong makita siya, muna itong routes, basically. So, if we want to add more routes, ang simple mo button is copy this, and let's say, for example, DNSC, and let's create new blade. In Laravel, we don't use .html. We use blade.php because mo nilahang templating sa Laravel. Inside here, what you can do is HTML gapon. So basically, you can put HTML diri HTML gapon siya. Pero tingnan mo, w.php siya. So, muna yung sa Laravel. DNSC seminar. Then, hello. Ayan siya. Then, let's go to, let's save. Welcome, web.php. So, let's change this to DNSC. So, if we go back to the browser, not this one, that one was, right here. So if we go to root domain / DNSC, then here you go. We got DNSC, diba? So that's how simple Laravel routing, diba? Kanang kung mag-add kang mga routes or any routes that you want, it's so easy na.
Bulldog man ako, bulldog.
Isa na nag-start.
Mama, wala, ma.
Pwede yan, mute. I mean, mute. So, okay. Alright, so, hello guys. So, diba, ang routing is easy as adding this line of code. Like DNSC, root domain, like login, log out. Ano siya, diba? So, this one helps you by default to make routes. So now let's go to our agenda or our goal to build a basic CRUD operation. So, okay, so let's draft this first. So, what we want is we would have a CRUD operation of posts, for example. So basically, what comes in your mind first, diba? Na may table nga post. So we would have a table called posts, diba? And then we would have some views where we can list posts. We could create posts, edit posts, delete posts, and kaya siya. So for me, in my experience, what would I want to do first is set up my database table. So for now, wala pa tayo database. So what we need to do is create a database. So using Laragon, you can click database. Kani siya, pwede nyo i-click ang database. And then, asa na to? Okay, you can click database in your end, and then also I also already pinned this to my taskbar. So if I click this one, okay, so you'll see this one. In my end, daghan kayo ni siya kayo because daghan kayo kung database kayo connect, but don't ignore those and focus on localhost. So click localhost and open. So what you will see here is the databases you have sa imong localhost. So what we want to do is create a database. So we have here the name already, diba? So Laravel demo DNSC. So let's create that one database. So here, localhost, create database, paste the name, and hit OK. So we filter this one. So we have already our database, diba? So, okay. So that means we already have created our database. Next thing is make sure everything is correct. Database name, root, and then password. Password is null for me. So kung sa inyo na may password din, make sure it's correct. Okay? So the next thing is what I want to do is I would create the model. So Laravel has many commands that you can take advantage of, like creating model. So like how you can do a model or how you can make a model. So what it is easy as making as running command like PHP artisan make model, and what we want is post, right? Post and then dash m. That dash m means we will make a migration. So let's just enter this one. So created successfully. If we go to database migrations, or let's just go to app models. As you can see, di ba, na natay post ng model automatically made by Laravel for you. So, as well as we have the posts, di ba? Post is basically the file that will design or configure kanang design or kanang make your table fields. Like we have post, diba? So sa post, for sure, natay natay ID, we have the ID kani siya, naputay timestamp. So these are defaults for Laravel. So if we want to add new field, like just table, then string, for example, a post has a title, diba? And a post has a body. And for example, you want this body to be not a string, but you want this to be a text. So basically, there are a lot of methods to choose. They have date, boolean, integer, daghan ka siya. Daghan ka siya mga options. So for now, we want string and text. So basically, we already have designed the table, and then if we check the database, wala, di ba? Wala siya table. So, imo pang button is i-migrate mo na siya. So, PHP artisan migrate. If you hit enter, what it will do it will migrate all the migrations here. This one, these migrations into your database. So if you go back here in your database and hit refresh, as you can see, all the migrations there was loaded here, di ba? Not users, not posts, basically because not default users today. So just ignore these three and focus on posts, di ba? As you can see, posts now have title, body, and wala itong set up sa itong file. Diba? How cool is that? That we don't need to basically manually add fields in our database manager or MySQL manager. Because sir, mas dali man siguro ang mag-admin dito sa diriya na lang, sir. Mag-add na lang diri ka ng field, mas dali naman sa PHP may admin mag-add kung field, sir. Yes, mas dali siya. But remember, for example, ako lang i-transfer ng project to another computer. Could I remember all the fields that I have defined to that computer? Di ba, dili? So basically, if your fields or your tables was correctly defined in this folder, when you migrate your application or your project files into another computer, then every fields that you have defined will just work fine. Will just work out of the box, diba? In a real world project, kinahanglan din ka mag-define na, because if dili, for example, ako as a developer and then I am in a team, for example, then the other guy in my team, in our team, want to help me to work on that project, then wala siya knowledge about sa fields nga i-define. Like, given sa man isa ka itong laing developer, so may mga fields na mag-error man anyway. So, meaning, migrations can help you sync your fields between people and between devices. So that's the essence of migrations. Okay? So, nanatay table, nanatay model. So basically nakuha na nato, na-create na nato ang model sa view model sa model view controller. So karon, let's go to the model post. So this model or this class or PHP class represents the post table in our application or in our database. So what I would want you to do first is, for me, as I prefer, what I would do is I would write protect. I would add a property like protected, guarded, and like that. It's just wrong spelling wrong. Okay, that's correct now. So what it would do is it will allow any fields from outside or from the user to be um, to be to work. I mean, to be inserted or to be persisted to the database. So let's just comment this out and I'll show you later what this thing do. Okay, so now let's move on to another thing. So model, right? So nakuha na to sa model. So what's next is the view. The view. So let's go to the view. So view would be in the resources, views, and here, right? So what we would do is we're making a posts. We're making a post CRUD operation for post. So what would I do is to organize my code, I would what would I do is create a new file in a folder like posts and index.blade.php. So I have created a new folder with index.blade.php. So this file or this so this file will just list all the posts so the user can see it, di ba? Makita lang sa users katong mga posts. So okay. So let's just copy this and put it here, and let's just type here like list all the posts here. Ano siya? Then we're done with the post with the view, right? But in order to this file to work, dapat na siya ka ng corresponding routes, di ba? Kumbaga, na siya slash, say, like facebook.com, like slash post or slash home, ana, di ba? So let's go to routes web.php, and then let's make that route. So that would be posts, di ba? Then it will return a view of posts and index. So as you can see here, this method can be used to return a view. So post.index. So basically, what this means is this is the folder and this is the file. Pag mag-dot mo, file na siya. So like, di ba? Dili ang root directory. As you can see here, DNSC, welcome. Wala sila folder. So meaning, as is lang nilang name. But we have folders, so so that's how organizations of files. So if we hit save and go back and check the route /posts, you can see here we have, di ba? Nakuha na to ang list all the posts here. So makita ito ang post rin. So we're done. We're done with the view, di ba? Nanatay view. So next thing is the we need to mute yun na ko yung mga atong mo. Pwede mo mag-mute. Excuse me. Okay, wala na ba? Okay. All right. So malata sa view. So we have completed model. We have completed the view. Then let's go on the controllers. So same as the model, ang at Laravel na siya command to make controllers. So it's easy as PHP artisan make controller, and the name of the controller would be post controller. So basically, ato ka siyang make it relevant as much as possible because we are working with post model. Then we should work on post controller, di ba po? Para relevant sila. Kung may mga post, then yung controller is shoe controller, so it's irrelevant. So dapat relevant siya dapat. So post controller, nga na siya. So as you can see here, di ba, nakita ninyo, igawas ng post controller. In here, we can do now the things that we want. So, di ba? So for this, if we go back to sa web.php, as you can see here, we have defined the routes using callback or closure functions. Diba? Usap sa buta na, closure or a callback function means like this. Because this is a function and this is an argument. This is a callback function. So best practice in Laravel is use or return the view using the controller para mas clean siya. So how will I do that? So I'll copy this name, and what I would do is instead of passing a callback function, I will return the controller name at method. Controller name at method. So let's go to the post controller and let's make the method index. So return view posts index. So ano siya? So post index. So if we go back to the web.php, post controller at index method. So ano siya? So if we go hit browser again, bam, we got an error. Why? So what's the error? The error is saying target class post controller does not exist. So wala daw siya nakitaan sa Laravel framework. It is because, so if you go to YouTube and look for tutorials, most likely you will see this kind of syntax. But in the new Laravel version, which is Laravel 8, we're using Laravel 8, the namespace by default, like if you can see here, go to the post controller, it is a PHP concept, namespace. So, dili siya makita sa Laravel because gibago siya. So, what you can do is you can either pass the class itself like this and like this and return the full path of the class like that and pass in the second value of the array with its method. And if we save, we go back to that page, bam, it's working again, diba? But for me, I'm not sure yet to use like this because di na ko may memorize tanan ang one unless you have this one thing that I installed sa kong editor nga mas dali siya magawas using a shortcut key. Pero much better siguro gamitan na itong old style sa. So how do you do that? So go to the route service provider. Okay, di lang ako siya ikuan. Let's go to the app providers, route service provider, and if you go here, you'll see this property here, protected namespace controllers. So this is the default namespace. So if we uncomment this one and we go back to web.php and control Z this one and hit save, and if we go back up here, hit refresh. There you go. It's still working, di ba? So, I guess, dagan mag-prefer ano eh. Mas dali siya, di ba? So, gano'n na siya. String controller name, and then its method. Alright, so, karon humana na to ang kuan. Nabutang na to siya sa controller, which is, this is the best practice. Standard. Best practices. Okay? So, let's go here. So, if we go back and check the page. So, we want the post to be listed here. So for now, let's just add some data in the database, like manually adding them here. So data. Currently, we don't have any values or data. So we can insert some. So like awesome, then testing, body, then let's add new one. Like COVID-19. Let's add more. And what else? Laravel, something like that. Okay, so now we have this default data, right? So, okay. So since we have those in our database, so how can we put them on the page? So basically what you can do is go here and pull the model. We have the model post model, diba? So let's import that. So using the kanang akuang extension sa quote editor, I can like easily import last. Like right click this one, this is the name, and we need to import that. Bam, it's here. It's imported, di ba? Mas dali siya. So karon, I will store it in a variable posts, and what I would do is : all. So I'm getting all the data from post, meaning I want to get all the posts from this post model and from this post table. And I will pass it here using like this, like passing a second argument to this method and say posts and passing the post. So it's basically, we're just basically putting the data here, right? You're passing it to the data as a second argument of this method. Okay? All right, let's save that. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to the page. Diba? Oh, wala yan siya. Wala tagibuhat sa blade. Wala tagibuhat sa file or sa HTML. So if we go back here to the post index.blade.php, this is the time we need to make the blade or the view more better. Okay, so what I would do is add an H1 and like say posts, yana, then and go back and hit refresh, then na siya posts. So next thing would be I want to load everything here katong nasa database which we have here, di ba? So karon to make this page a little bit better looking, we can pull Bootstrap CDN para nabot tayo design gamay sa tong kuan. So kani siya. So I can post this in the chat. So we can just copy this. Okay, copy this one, HTML, and then put this on top of the head. I mean inside the head, and then save it. And let's go back here and hit refresh. Here we go. So let's add some classes here, like BG sure, BG danger, like BG. Pwede na wala. Pwede na yung mag-background there. Yeah. So butang lang tao, container. Yan na siya. Then hit save. Yan na siya. Then we can add some class. Margin top 4. Yan na siya. So para matunga na siya, di ba? So next thing is I want a table in the center. So let's go go to bootstrap.com. Bootstrap, not sure if it's .com. Yeah, get bootstrap DI. So let's go ahead and look for the components. So here we would want to look for table, or you can just search here table. Yeah, tables here. Go here. We can take advantage of this and just copy this, copy, and put it below. And if we go back to the page again, bam. So we already have now the table, di ba? So mas dali siya. So basically, if you have more resources to make your job easier, then do that. Ayaw pagkuhan. Di na mag-ingon-ingon niya ka ng, kaya ko na style ako akong page manually or from scratch. Ana. But your boss or your company don't care about that. Wala sila ipakialam nga giunsa na pagbuhat. What they want or what they really need is your output. They don't even care, or most of the companies don't even care how you did your job or how you did the project. So lang, copy if you want to copy, pero not in the exams, huh? Okay. Let's add some margin to the bottom. Oops. Okay. So now we have, so if as we remember, we have title and body, right? So let's change this headers here. So we would have like title and the body, and let's just remove this and remove this dummy things here, and we would have 3 columns. Okay, 3 columns. Now, sir, how would I display the data? So in Laravel, we have this feature for each. So for each posts, as posts, and for each. This just means that we are looping through our posts data that we just passed from the controller, if you remember. Diba? Today, nagpasa the post, so muna na siya. So if we go back to that index file, and here, go back here, so how would you print the data? So in Laravel, you will just use 2 curly braces, and then inside it, you can say post ID. Diba? Namatay ID, diba? Nung data today, we have 1, 2, 3. There, so we can access that like that. So we can just copy, paste in, and then title, body, yan na siya. So let's hit save and let's go back. Let's go ahead and go back into this page. And as you can see here, we have awesome COVID-19 and Laravel. How easy is that? Diba? It's just like that. So, dali jud kay siya, di ba? So, if nag-kuan ka ani, nag-basic PHP ka ani, mag-connect pa ka sa database, basta a lot of things you need to do before you can get to this output, di ba? So, mo na siya. Yeah, mo na siya. We have completed the listing. So, we have completed this one, check. So next thing would be create posts. So in my mind, what would I do? So let's just again, for me, I would do like, let's just create a page. Okay. So if we create a page, don't forget to create the file itself. So what would we do is make a blade. So I would make it more relevant than it is in the folder like post, right? So that will be create the blade.php. So in the post folder, I would have create the blade.php. Diba? Okay. So, okay. Let's copy this one here. So para madali siya. Copy na to siya. Then, so let's just do that. And remove this. So this one we're gonna be create. Ano siya. So next thing would be let's create the route. Diba? Pag once a blade or once a HTML, make sure it has a corresponding route. So post, that would be new, for example, and then ang atong method is new. So let's go to that controller again and make sure that method does exist. So that is new, and then what would we do is post. That's the blade, right? Create. Then we don't want to pass anything for it right now. Then hit save, and then if we go back to the browser here and slash new, post new, and then we will see post new, di ba? Nakatay create nga page. Then let's go ahead and go to that file. And next thing is create a form. So easy, go to bootstrap.com and search for forms. So kani, pwede na siya. Let's copy this. Paste it in here. Let's go back, hit refresh, and we got the form already, di ba? So mas easy siya. So less typing. So let's edit this one and this one. So that would be, this should be a title, di ba? So we have two fields, title, and we actually don't need a lot of things here. Nah, just we want text here. Let's just remove the placeholder for now. We don't need this one. We don't need this one. We don't need this one again. And let's just copy this one and say body. Okay, so we have title and body, diba? So let's go ahead and go back to the page. So we have now title and body. So now we have the field, the page. We have the page already. The next thing is, sir, how we will gonna post this or persist the data that came from the form. So basically, you need to create an endpoint for that or a route. So if we go to the web.php, most likely what will happen is you will have a post request, post route. So where you can post your data and persist, diba? So that would be, so in Laravel, most of the kumbaga standard, we have the resource, diba? Resource methods sa Laravel. So in standard, or if you want, pwede naman dili, pero usually yun, ginabuhat is, we have the standard, the create, store, delete, put, patch, kato nga mga methods. So karon natay kuan na karon. So we have this get. So we CRUD, diba? CRUD. So we have CRUD. So CRUD. So create, read, update, delete, diba? So create. So ang read, diri mo ning read, diba? Nag-get na to, get man na to tong mga data. So we're reading it, diba? So R, create. So this is gonna be the create. Karon. So karon, let's gonna create this method. So ang convention sa Laravel is store, but you can do create or make. But for kasagaran din sa Laravel, standard is store. So we have created this one, this route, and let's make sure this method exists in this controller. Let's go to that controller and copy this one. Paste it in and make that method store. And what will happen is in that method, you will have this argument here, the request, illuminate request. This is from the Laravel. So what this object do is it allows us to get all the data posted from the front end, or posted from where, or from any source. So how you will create a data? It's easy as post create, and then we pass in the fields that we want. Like we want the title, request, input, title, copy it, and say body, and that's it. It was that's how you create a record in a DB. And then after that, we want after creating a record, we want to redirect to the list. So how do we do that? So redirect, it's just simply as redirect to /posts, something like that, diba? So after you have created the post, you'll be redirected to the post route, diba? Morning route, diba nga post, katong /post, dito ang list. So, mo to siya. So, let's actually test this one. But wait, let's make sure in here that form should have the method code. So what we have is we have get and post, diba? So we want the post. And where should this thing should post? Action. And the action should be in /posts, diba? If we go to the web.php again, here it is /post, but it is post. Get and post is different, diba? Getting, posting. So nga na siya. So karon, if we go back to the form here, diba? We have the post in the post action. So karon, let's try this one. Hit refresh, and let's add something here and hit submit. Bam, you got an error. Why? Because Laravel has its really awesome protection for hackers. So basically, Laravel is using CSRF token to protect Laravel from hackers. So to fix this, it's simple as doing this. CSRF, and this will generate a hidden field that will protect your form. Let's go back and refresh. Let's go back here and refresh. And then how to prove that to you, let's inspect element and check here. As you can see here, we have another field, diba? Wala man natin nag-create. It was auto-generated by that simple line of code. So right now, if we type and submit this thing, submit, there you go, we got another error. So this now explains the thing, diba? Kato ganina nga explain from the model class. If we go back to that model class, this one, it was commented, right? Add title to fillable property to allow mass assignment on the model post. So Laravel helps us to protect our DB from posting anything from the front end. So, gina-protect niya itong DB nga dili siya makapost of anything without our consent, diba? So this is just another layer of protection. So karon, akong gusto is don't guard anything. I know the fields that I want to post or to persist to the database. So nga na siya. So I will uncomment this one and try again. Hit refresh. There you go. And hit submit. Column title cannot be null. I'm sure this problem was, let's go back here, because we haven't put the name yet. So we need to put the name. So the name with this is title. And the name for this is body. And let's go ahead and go back. Hit submit. Bam. And we got it working, diba? Let's add more. More. Diba? See, we got it. So that's how guarded means that, hey Laravel, stop guarding my fields. I know what the fields that I want. So that's why pwede na siya, siya. So we're specifying the correct fields. So that's the explanation of that. So we already done the create posts. And if we go back to the page, sir, i-access nito siya dito sa URL lang, sir. Wala yung button nila para maka-create dito, sir. So it's easy as adding something here. What I would do is click and create a button and add some class button, or you can do a link somehow, and then button primary and say create new. And let's add some deflex in align item center and justify between to make it look good. Okay, if you go back to the page, bam, we got this, right? And let's remove this one. And let's just add this one here, magic button 4. Here we go. It's now correctly aligned. And let's pass in the URL that we want. So posts new, diba? So hit refresh and click new, then we are redirected to this page. Go back, diba? Easy. All right. Let's okay, before we continue, let's check the file. Let's check this file. Sir, nakalagay po diri sir, head up diri sir, napalagay body diri sir. Nya diri po sa create sir, napalagay diri sir, napalagay diri sir. So what if sir nga concern na ko is thousands of millions of files sir nya. Hinahanglan pa na ko i-edit ang concern ang isa-isa ng mga file. That would be a good question. So in Laravel, pwede nimo ma-reuse ang isa ka file or isa ka blade throughout your files. So basically, the best practice for this is you would create a new file, layouts, app.blade.php. So in here, what you could do is copy this one and put it in here and make this file as a shell of your application. So what I would do is whether it's yield content here. So basically this means is yield the content. Put the content here. So the content would be this index, diba? So let's cut this out. Then how we can use that layouts app.blade.php is just like extends layouts app. And section would be is the content, diba? We have specified this in the content in the section of content, we would want to put this, diba? So if we go back to the layout, so basically what will happen is kani siya will be replaced sa kani, diba? Kanina diri. So if we go back here, hit refresh, it's still working, diba? So that's it. That's how you do extending another blade to another blade. So let's do it here too. So let's just copy this one, do that. So let's replace inside. Nga na siya, and hit refresh and create new one. Still working, diba? So right now, if I want to hey sir, I want to add something in the header, like let's say welcome, So I would say you will go to the app.blade.php and say welcome. There you go. it has welcome on top. Create new, it has welcome on top. Diba? So basically, this is very useful in a lot of cases, Okay, so that's done. So let's go ahead and go to edit posts. So the next thing would be is, yeah, let's create an edit page. Copy this one, create new file, edit the blade PHP, copy that, and that's gonna be edit. It's replace this to edit. Okay. We have this edit, diba? So we've done the front end. So let's now create the route. So the route would be with the PHP in here. That would be update, and that would be like this. So we want to have a route like slash post. This means is the ID of the post. But in Laravel, it's better to actually name it like that because we can take advantage of the so-called route model binding. So route model binding. And then I'll explain that later. So post controller and then update method. Let's go ahead and create that method update because it's not here yet, diba? So there you go. Create an update and then route model binding. Post, and it just means that this post will auto find the post or will auto find the ID from the DB. So you can do this or you can either do this. Post find post. But isn't it more amazing to do this than to do this, diba? So much better to do the route model binding. In some cases, you can use the other method, other way, um, depending on your use case. So I've used both in some of our applications. So in some of the applications that I made. So ano lang. So karon, let's just focus on this. So if the application found the post that you want to edit, then um, then you should fill the fields that you want to update. So fill, what's the fill? The same thing, title and body. And then what you can do is post and save. That's it. Save and redirect to posts. Again, redirect to the post, to the list, diba? So that's the update. But now, hey sir, this is just why we don't ganang wala na to siya gi-return tong one sir, tong view, tong list. I mean, tong edit.blade.php. So we need to add that too. Because this is for the backend for the update. So let's go ahead and go back to the web.php and let's add here because this is the new one, di ba? Mag-create ka. So let's actually add new ID and this is the edit. So we would have a post route with the ID and the edit. So we would create a method again, an edit method, so we can display what post we want to edit. As I said, it's better to do this than the ID because we can take advantage of the route model binding. So let's go ahead and copy this one, and I would say this is edit, and you can remove this one like that. One and let's say posts. It's edit, and I can pass in the can pass it into post. Go post that, and then hit save. And now, if we go back to the page again here, let's go to the list here. I want a button here to say something like edit. So let's go ahead and go to the index blade. This is the index blade. Let's add a new column. Let's add it here, TD, and like let's add a button here, or let's just add a link that looks like a button. Button, primary, button SM. Let's just edit. Hit refresh, bam, it's here. So let's add the delete also for now. So para maisa na lang tanan. So delete, there you go. And let's make this danger. Bam, so edit, delete, diba? So now we want to go to the link of the posts and its ID. So it's just like that, post ID and edit, right? So if we hit refresh and click edit, bam, we are in the edit page. But sir, it's empty because we haven't loaded yet. So let's go back, let's go ahead and go to the edit.blade.php. So now, if we remember in the controller here, we are returning the post, we're returning the blade with the post data. So what we could do is go to the edit blade and populate it here like that, say post title body, refresh, bam, diba? One shot. So let's go back, edit COVID-19. It's that, and awesome. There you go. Diba? So, ano siya? The next thing would be the update itself. So we're updating. So let's try. So the update route is in the web.php, diba? So it's put method and this route slash post and post. So let's go back here and like that, and we should print the post ID here, diba? So now, sir, form all ang form sir kay kuan ba sir get to post ra ang pwede sir. Saan man naman na sir? How you would do that is simple as adding new input field hidden and say name method and the value would be put. That will override this form to make it work. Okay, so let's go back to the browser and edit this one. Awesome testing. And submit. Bam, it's updated. Diba? There you go. It's updated. More. Submit. Diba? Bam. How cool is that, diba? Okay, so we have done the edit. So let's go ahead and do the delete. Okay. So how do we do that? So again, so basically delete is you can just click this one and delete, diba? So what first thing is we need to create a route. So read, create, update, and delete. So same, that would be, we can just make it a get method. I mean get request or get route, and say same route but it is get and delete. And you could name this as destroy. In Laravel, the naming for this delete is destroy. Usually what it is the yung ginagamit sa community. So mo na ko ginagamit instead of deleting a word is destroy. So let's go ahead and create that method. So here, what would I do is add a destroy method, and same thing. We can take advantage of the destroy. Take advantage of the route model binding, and then I would say like posts delete. That's it. Delete and then return back. Return back. So after you delete it, go back. That's it. And then if we go back and check again that route is this one. Let's just copy this one to avoid forgetting it. And let's go to index. And let's just pass this in. This href. And then pass in the ID. Okay, pass in the ID. And then let's go ahead and go to the page. So click, bam, 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 bam. It's deleted. Let's read new in Laravel demo. Awesome things. Awesome. So sir, nga to lang dito sir, delete siya dito sir. Pwede, sir, kanang mag-add tag confirmation sir, kanang ito, mas gwapo ito sir, natay confirm sir, kaya di ko lang na-delete na ito sir, dapat naman yun, like confirm. So, how you can do that, you can either add new page or you can either use JavaScript to add some confirmation para when you click delete na confirm, pwede ba na siya? So, we could add a JavaScript, simple JavaScript. So, let's go back here in app.php. So we want that all the scripts is below the content. So we want to add a new section here that says scripts. We can yield the scripts in the bottom. Diba? And go ahead and go to the index page. And here, add new section. And say scripts and end section. So I could write and add new here script, and then once I click this one, I could confirm if I want to delete it. So like you can add a function like delete post, delete. The ID would be the argument or the parameter, the ID of the post, and I could say if confirm, are you sure to delete this post? Like that. If it's confirmed, then window.href, window.location href is /post, and you can use backticks. This is the new feature in JavaScript. Backticks and then delete, like that. So basically what it means is if you confirm this one, then this code will be executed. So the URL will be changed into this /post, ID of the post, and delete. Let's just add this confirm, and I name this into confirm delete. And let's say here, bam, it's on click, confirm delete, and pass in the post. hit refresh to this page, delete, confirm, I want to cancel it. Hit delete and confirm, bam, it's deleted. Diba? So best practices, you should add confirmation if you want to delete, unless your boss says, ayaw na nabot niya yung delete confirmation, okay? Kasi kung delete it, so but most of the applications have that, diba? Delete ka og mga post naman yun ay confirmations, Facebook, pamilya mo ana, Instagram, and all those kind of applications. So those are important. So I guess we have completed those CRUD operations. So right now I want to open, before continuing, I want to open the one. I want everyone, if you have questions, pwede nyo i-raise yung questions. You can unmute your cell phone to ask question or chat in the chat box. Nagatanaw ko sa chat karon. Anyone? So para ma-clarify, sir, wala ko sa to, sir. Sir, gisatan mo, sir. So mga na. So you can ask na. Anyone? Hello?
Hello, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Namin questions na. Kabalo ko, nadyo yung mga siguro yun na confused. Nga, lagi, sa naman, sir. So you can ask questions karon kay. Later, you will sabay na po to work, to build this to same as this. So dapat makakuha ninyo maka-build ta ni later this afternoon. Parang may questions later, Anyone? Ay, magkaulaw. So, as much as possible, what I'm teaching karon is basic, as much as possible basic. Kay di ko gusto nga itudlo sa inyo ang kanang over na pod, because it's for you to explore Laravel. I want just to help you on board, get on board sa framework. Okay, pwede mo pero karon bisig na mo yung mga tawag ni mga questions ninyo, curious, out of curiosity. Wala pasad ko question, sir, kay naputol-putol. Ay, sir, kanang need pa ba i-copy ang bootstrap sa na-folder dito sa SAM, sir? Actually, bootstrap can either be imported using external link or can be put in your source files. So good question. So sir, di ba may internet permit, sir? So basically di na pwede nga makalink permit sa sir, kay external man siya file, sir, na siya sa internet. So kung wala internet, hindi siya mag-work. Correct. Hindi siya mag-work pag wala internet. So what you can do is you go to this link. Kani siya, pwede mo siya i-download. Download mo ni siya. Then go to downloads, siya. Open this file. Kani siya. Then cut this one. You can cut that one. You can go ahead and go to the public folder and actually reveal this in the file and go here and add new folder and paste this in, and then after that it is here, right? So what you can do now, instead of referencing this to the internet, you can do link rel, you can do / then CSS, then bootstrap, bootstrap. That mean that's CSS, diba? So basically, from public folder, it's like the root domain, then CSS, the folder itself, and the file. So now, you could go. We could go back here and hit refresh, and still our project's style works, diba? So nga na siya, work gyapon siya kay gi-reference naman siya nimo locally. So di na nimo siya need nga external. So you can work offline, you can work without the internet as long as you already downloaded all the resources that you need to develop. Diba? So actually, this kaningani po siya ang way. So good question. I like the question kay mo mutana mo sir, sa mo pag-add bootstrap sa mga application sir. So it's simple as this, ngani siya. So wala siya mas dali. So thank you for the question niya i-raise nimo. So it helps a lot for everyone. Nga na idea na sila sa on na pag-add CSS. And then if you ask for JavaScript, external JavaScript, you can just add new file, JS, app.js, and then you can simply go to that lead and then script src / js then app.js. Yan na siya. Yan na siya. So, siya. So, another question. Sir, giunsa ganito nimo mag-install ang Laravel using VS Code? Actually, ang installing is not just through VS Code. Sa VS Code lang ko install kay naman siya integrated terminal ang VS Code. Pero you can use git bash if you want. So git bash. Git bash. And then katong kung nakuha to ninyo kung ipa-install ganina tong Laravel installer, you can just do Laravel new then project name. Then everything should work as long as you have internet. Ma-install yun na ninyo ang katong Laravel project. Any more question? Hiluma oy. You have the chance. So we still have 30 and an hour before 12. 30 minutes. 1 and 30 minutes before we go for break. Ask question. Pwede mo magbisaya ka kay. Walang, sorry lang sa ako ang karon explanation, mostly English siya kay. Halos everyday man good lately or most of the time ang masturya is mga foreign people. So like this week kanang most of the days or this week kay nag-training nagkawan ko niya pil ko training for for our company kay we're having a big project. We're having a big project na need na ko ikon kana need ko mo attend because for you to know ako ang lead developer sa among company. So I lead developers, so ako ang nag-lead sa mga developers. So I'm a senior developer dito sa among company. Okay. Na daw question si Andrel, sir. Morning, sir. Sorry, karon lang ko nakabot. Nag-multi-user na, sir. Salamat, ma'am. Nag-multi-user na, sir. Multi-user. So you mean like na simple user, then na admin, nga na? Mo ba na yung sabot? Pwede mo chat kung balik kung mo ba na pasabot. Yes. Yeah, sure. Okay, before na ko na siya buhaton is kwan. Let's answer po sa si Con Villaverde, Adam sudap sa pangalan eh. But by the way, so sir, pwede man mo gamit ang jQuery sa Laravel po? Sir, yes, pwede ma'am. Pwede. Babae ba niya siya? But pwede siya. So how it's easy, di ba? jQuery is jQuery CDN. So jQuery is JavaScript file. Basically a JavaScript file. So you can select, for example, jQuery minified. Let's do this in, diba? Nasa like CDN. Nasa like CDN. Copy na ko ni siya. And let's go ahead and go to the layout and then paste this in here. So karon, if I go here and hit refresh, excuse me. So karon, I can take advantage now the jQuery. So how should I use jQuery? It is like this, diba? So like an app, for example, then I could say like app, and then I could console this out to see if this is working. Yep, this works. So nga to siya. You can pwede lang nimo siya i-link externally, or even you can click again this and simply download this file and go to the downloads here. Nga na siya, and then show in the folder, cut this out, and then go reveal this folder and go to the JS folder and paste it in, and then you can reference this locally or in your project. So JS, then that was, copy na lang na siya, then like that. So this should work, same thing. You can just remove this one and this should work. So I'll just need to hard refresh. So hard refresh, make sure, yes, it still work. So pwede siya. Any JavaScript, pwede siya. Like JavaScript framework or library. jQuery, React.js, if you're not familiar. jQuery, React.js, Vue.js, Svelte, anything. As long as JavaScript, you can use it sa imuhang project. So, you can use Bootstrap or Bulma. Dagan na kay quadron mga tawag ni. Kanang tawag. Dagan na kay mga CSS frameworks. Yes. Multiple file system. Oh, yes, pwede siya. Pero I'm not sure what you mean sa imo yung basabot sa multiple file system, but Laravel can support multiple file source or multiple disks so basically Laravel is a PHP framework. So if you can search anything from the internet that PHP can do, then Laravel can do it too. Then katong sa kuan, so let's answer that one. Let's demo katong yung simple login and logout lang daw. So karon Laravel 8, so in the previous versions of Laravel, like 6 below, and today it's 8, version 8. So 6 below, Laravel has by default the basic authentication out of the box, but in this new version, so Laravel, those basic authentication was pulled out of the box because to lessen the to lessen the default or to avoid enforcing everyone to use basic authentication, but they never want it to be there by default. Like if you want to make an app without authentication, then those authentication is there. So it doesn't make sense, diba? So so now they actually remove it and use the so-called package. You need to do package, like you need to install. So it's easy as composer install Laravel UI, and then that will wait. So invalid argument, use composer require. It's not install, require. I'm sorry. Composer require Laravel UI. So it's installing. Make sure you have internet if you install this. So ano siya? It's done. Then next thing to do is easy as PA or PHP artisan UI auth. Bam. So layouts app, Viewblade already exists. Do you want to replace it? You want to replace it, but okay. This package will replace the blades that you have created here if those are parihas sa mga defaults sa kanyang package, because we are using app. Then it's saying, do you want to replace it? Okay, let's just replace it. Yes. And right now, if you go and check this file again, bam, tanawan niyo yung file. So na-change siya. And if we go back to the website or to the app we built, bam, la sir, pangit lagi sa sir. Because na-override man siya, di ba? And then it's referring to the CSS and app CSS. Siya. Because it also changes this file. Also, so we have now, no. That's just for the authentication blade. Para unsa ng terminal, sir? Terminal kani CMD, terminal is CMD. Murag ana. Same na sila. Terminal daka pwede mag-type og mga commands or any functions. I'm sure you have subject nga katong sa OS, Linux, dito dagat kay mga terminal ng mga kwan. So, okay. So, kato siya, ang PHP Artisan UI auth package, UI package will generate the authentication resources or files. So kali siya na replace na siya, di ba? And then if you go check, we have now the auth folder. Log in, register, verify, password confirm, email reset. This is the thing that I'm saying earlier from the slides. Nga, Laravel can offer basic authentication out of the box without anything for you to ng code. You need to install it. Install lang. So if you go to the web.php, as you can see here, we have added, the package added this route. It's mean auth routes, so meaning it will generate all the routes for authentication, basic authentication, and this even generate a new route home, diba? So as we go back here in the page, sir, nawala na lagi itong design, sir. Yes, nawala na siya because na-change to siya. Na-change itong CSS. But if we go change the styles here in the blade, ano siya? In CSS, then that was bootstrap, that means that CSS, and go back and hit refresh, bam, it's back. And then, sir, how to, kita lang ninyo. So basically dala ang login of register. So if you click login, ano siya? Another email, pwede kang register, pwede kang mag-register. So like, so kung mag-register like Edwin Encomienda, so Edwin at gmail.com, password, register, bam. So I'm in. So mo to siya, naka-login and register, di ba? Pero karon, di ba, sir, di ba click, sir? Ang drop down. Because wala man ang muhang jQuery pod. Wala pa naman na-install yung jQuery, yung JavaScript. So, basically, na-need So, atong JavaScript is tara man, di ba? So, Bootstrap needs actually, no, it's in public folder. Bootstrap needs jQuery. So, how you will do that? So, pwede siya, pwede naman i-change na siya to like JS, di ba? JS, then app that, Bootstrap, jQuery din. Ano siya? Gana. Refresh. Still not working, sir. Sorry, sir. Di ba yung yapon work, sir? Refresh. Di yapon. Because this package should not pull from this kaning i-add mo guna siya manually. Pero kaning Laravel UI nga package, naman na siya iyang sarili that will use Laravel mix. So karon, sir, saan mo na install, sir? So you need to run another command, which is php artisan UI what front-end framework you want. Because Laravel has a basic scaffolding for two popular JavaScript frameworks, which are Vue.js and React.js. So most of the time I use Vue, so let's use Vue. So UI Vue. There you go. So please run npm install and run dev to compile your fresh scaffolding. So now, if you go back to package.json, so package.json is the list of the packages, the front-end packages of your application. We have now Axios, Bootstrap, jQuery, Popper, Lodash, Laravel Mix, and all of that. So you need to install that using npm or yarn. So basically, I'm using yarn, so I would use yarn. Yarn install. But in your end, you could use npm install. But I like yarn. But if you prefer npm, that's fine. So it's installing the front end packages that we need. So basically, that will generate a node modules folder here, as you can see, and then node modules is same as vendor, because that vendor is holds the packages that Laravel needs in order for it to work. So kana pong node modules is for the front end, and then vendor is for the back end. Okay. So while installing, let's wait for it to install. Done. So now, what we could do is run the command run yarn dev. What does that do is it will gonna compile your JavaScript and CSS files, because when we run PHP Artisan UI Vue, it was able to generate these files, SAS and JS. So here, app.js, you can see here we have now the Bootstrap, and then it's using jQuery here. This one, Axios, muna siya yung gina-generate. So SAS is a top level version of CSS. So you're familiar with CSS. SAS is pre-kuan kanang wala siyang siya. So that preprocessor language nga kinahanglan mo siya i-process before you can use it, because a SAS needs to be converted into a CSS file before it can be used to a browser, because SAS by default will not work in the browser. So kana siya. Then humana siya build, di ba? If we go back to resources, then views, layouts, and app.lay the PHP, di ba atong gi-change na siya? Ato siya gi-change i-change na siya. Pero if nahuman siya build, di ba? Yarn dev, nahuman siya, done. So if we go check in the public folder, we will surely have app.css and app.js. Ano tayo duwa ka buok? Because i-auto-generate na siya sa Laravel mix. The Laravel asset compiler. So if we go ahead and go back to this file and Control Z, app.js, and do that, and hit refresh, still it will gonna work, diba? Nag-work yun siya, bisag nagkano ba kay mo naman i-generate sa Laravel. So if we click this, diba? Work na siya, ang drop down. Diba? Log in, and then so siya, Edwin, log in na siya. And we can say go to the post again, same thing, post still works, diba? And also, like, sir, gusto na ko, sir, nga kanang answer ba kanang ma-access lang na ko ning post pag naka-login ko. So, incognito ta. Ma-access pa yan po na ko, sir, kasi wala ako ka-login, sir, tanawa, sir, naka-login niya po ko, sir. So, how do you protect your routes? How do you protect your application? So, go back and go to the web.php, go here, and say, these routes should be inside a group. And this group should contain all the routes. So you're grouping the routes. So you can apply a general config, which is middleware. A middleware is something that you can apply to a route to protect your route or anything that you want before it hits your actual route. So, kumbaga, kuan siya baka ng salaan. Simple na sila. Salaan siya. So, if you need to do something, anything, before siya tagos sa bangag, then, you sala sa it. Diba? So, what would be the middleware? So, we have the default auth. Auth is the middleware. So dapat authenticated siya, naka-login siya before niya ma-access. So if we hit refresh this page, bam, it is redirected automatically for the login page, di ba? Access na compose, delete ko pa access because I'm not logging yet. So let's log in and then go. Ma-access na ako siya. Because I already log in and then ma-access na ako ang page. Okay. So I guess that answer your question, Miss Ubay. Miss Ubay? For the database table, automatic dito siya, di ba? Ganina, nakita ninyo sa migrations. Database migrations, not a users tree, password na na. So basically, by default, na siya. Then if you go here back to the database, diba, na si users tree, Edwin, mo na itong i-create. So by default, di na need to think about that because it was already generated for you. Okay? So sir, if ever i-host imong web app na nagamit og Laravel, so napa ba may configure na sir o wala na sir? Yes, of course, nadya na siya. So you need more research to upload your web application, because if you host it manually, so actually ginahanglan kay BPS or virtual private server for your application. So every app is hosted in a server. Karon, if you want to host this application online, what you would do is you would go to like DigitalOcean, yan siya. And then you can buy a droplet. A droplet is a server, basically droplets. So it ranges the pricing for, I think the price of a server, a single server is $5 USD. So that's gonna be 241 a month for a server. So if you buy a server, that's fine. That's fine for testing, or if you are master ka sa server or DevOps ka, like Sir Paddy na siya. Howd man kayo sa sir, so he can buy a server and set up Laravel there nga na. Pero pwede man po ikaw for testing lang kay usually magud kung ikaw lang magsarili nimo, new beginner ka pa tapos mag-set up ka over a server for yourself. Not sure that your server is secure and will work correctly. So ako sa akong trabaho, usually I don't buy raw server. So what I used to do is I am subscribing a platform which is called Laravel Forge. This is released by the official team of Laravel deployment or Laravel hosting. So this will take care all of the necessary things in order to deploy your Laravel application. So in just a few clicks nimo is ma-deploy na nimo yung application sa imong preferred server. So basically this service is tie up lang siya sa mga server provider, VPS provider like DigitalOcean, Amazon, Vultr, Google, a lot of mga server providers. Then, yung ginabuhat is gina-configure niya yung server to be Laravel ready and production ready application. So, kana siya. Then, but for your case, naman po siguro mga free hosting services dito sa free hosting services sa online, like sa garang siguro makita niyo itong 00 web host ka to. Pero okay ba siya if yun mo bayad sa kuan, magpalito ko ng kuan. Pero I don't like sa ilahang kuan is limited resources, then daghang kay bugs, whereas kung mapalit ka og server which cost only 241 for your projects, for your thesis, is a smart idea, smart move dyan na siya. Mapalit mong server 241 for a team of 5 members is cheap, di ba? Kaysa magkuhan ka ng naginot ka sa kanang free service tapos buggy. Or you can even buy this service. This service is only cost $12 for hobbyist, yata. USD to PHP. So this server, for example, so in your thesis, diba? So what I would do is, so kung I know this service sa una to nag-scale up ako, I would buy this one because, like for example, the whole 4th year magbayad ta og Laravel for service, then 500 pesos is so cheap kayo, di ba? So you just buy one server and host all your projects there. So yung i-host dito then easy na siya. So easy is few clicks lang siya ma-upload na ninyo yung mga websites, yung mga applications niyo dito in one account, in one server, then magbayad mo to, bayad mo dito tanan for 500 pesos, then 500 pesos plus the 241 na kuan sa server. So it's different kuan payment. Pero 500 o 200 more or less 800 to 900 ana. So 900 is cheap for whole fourth year or even one section for a month, and then you just need it for few months, di ba? For sure, kapoy kayo mag-host. Usually that is the problem of the IT students before. Asa may mag-host sir? Asa may mag-host ani sir? May kabalo mag-host ani sir. But using Laravel Forge, all those sa inyong heads, yung mga problems na siya is ma-fix na siya. Then if you have questions about Laravel Forge, you can ask me, you can DM me. So if na may mga gusto niyo, sir, Encomienda sir, so ask me, then I'll give my best, or I'll try my best to help you. So I'm sure you'll be happy sa kanina platform because I am using it. Like I have 3, 4, 5 accounts, separate accounts. So in my clients, so nako yung nga ang account. So they're using it. So and then in Quanpod Laravel Forge, you can automatically deploy your updates. Let's say, for example, we're using Git. So Git is a technology where you can host your project files in the cloud, diba? So if you push something locally, Forge will know that you have pushed something, and then Forge will deploy all your updates, and you don't need to do anything, and all updates are there. Wala na kay buhaton. Push lang ka, and then that's all. Pwede na ko i-show sa inyo pwede na ito ni-host actually. So pakita na ko sa inyo sa ka-simple na siya i-host. Okay. Alright, so napabantay ask some questions, or if you want for me to show how we can deploy this project. Deploy, or you want to ask more questions pa? Any response? More questions? Hello? Hello, people in the internet. Mm-hmm. Deploy. So, meaning you want to deploy. So, okay. So the first thing, what I would do is, okay. It would go to GitHub and create new repository. So muna siya sa Git. So I will add this as Laravel demo DNSC. So like that. So ako siya siyang putang sa Git kay para natay storage sa tong one application kay kung maguba tong flash drive, it's not a dead end, di ba? What? Wala nag-share screen si sir.
Naaman.
Naman daw. Okay. So Laravel demo DNSC. So create a new repository sa GitHub. Much better. So I advise your projects and your thesis is i-post niyo siya, i-upload niyo siya sa GitHub. Sa GitHub. You can say public or private. I will leave this public. Create repository. Then it's saying push an existing project. Then I would say git init, git git add, then git commit init. This is a message. -m, it means message. Then I would say I'll copy this one. I'll add, then okay, then git push. Ano na siya? Ano na yung copy yun. Push na dito. So, whoops. Wait. This one. Ah. Pushing. Remote. It's done. So if we go back here and refresh this page, bam. So you have now, so I already uploaded my application. So I uploaded ako ang project file. So whatever happens to my computer, maguba man akong flash drive, maguba man akong computer, my project, my thesis, or my key to success to graduate is naa na siya diri sa GitHub. Next thing to do is, so I have here my Forge account. I will log in. So draw mo na ako mga accounts. Nagan kayo. So this is my personal account. Then I have a lot of servers here. So I would go to like here. This kanilang ako nga server gamiton. Okay. Personal server. Okay. Dito sa personal server na po. Okay. So in this personal server, so I would create a new domain or a new site. So a site means is equal to domain. So I have here a lot, diba? So karon, I have extension like Encomienda. Okay, I could say like DNSC, that Edwin Encomienda. So basically, you need a domain here, pero mo ni akong kumbaga mo ni i-access ninyo. Mo ni ang to sa web. So karon, I'll create that. Create database. Ang create ng DNSC Laravel. Yan na siya. Copy na ko na siya. Then, yep, let's add site. Karon, add ang site. This is the site. Click ko na siya. Then I will click the one. Sorry, GitHub, user and repository. This is my username. And this is the repository. Copy that. Paste it here. The branch is then install repository. Then I will go ahead and go to my namecheap.com. So this namecheap.com manages the domain or mga facebook.com. So I have here. So I need to set up that one. Itong kadi, diba? DNSC.edinvideo.com. Kung na siya kailangan i-set up. Okay. So verification code. Ang asya verification code. Ako Then I need to get the name chip. Wait. Oops, wait. Yep, this is the code. Submit. Okay, makalagin ako. Then I would say I would go here, manage this one, advanced DNS. So what I would do is add new record. A record is fine. And DNSC, and the IP address would be this IP address. This is my server. Then click that. Say 1 minute. Save. Then it's installing. Then let's just wait. Then 5 minutes. Environment here means like env, diba? Namatay env sa Laravel, so that's env. So it's installing, so it's pulling from the GitHub and installing it into the server to this IP. This IP is the server. So that server, I bought it from DigitalOcean. Actually, pwede ka lang sa Forge. Pwede mo gamit pay my cards, mga debit cards, pwede siya pay. So if you want to use this one platform, this service. So, so that's fine. So, make sure don't forget nga, kung siya, smart move siya nga ibutang niyo yung yung project. Because in the future po, pwede po niyo nga, because some employers ask for, napaka-GitHub account. Most likely, if you applied for programming job, makita sila GitHub. Yun na. So, yes. So, it's done. So, it was installed. So, if we click this, bam. Diba? Na-host na siya. Ano ni? You can access na ni. Ma-access na ninyo ni. Then, let's just make sure that the environment variables are correct. So, yep, mali na siya. It is DNSC Laravel. Hit save. Okay. Then, PHP artisan config cache to cache again the one and deploy now. Deploying, di ba? Simple na kayo siya. Di ba? I-edit, di ba, sa configuration. So, it's easy as clicking deploy. Di ba? Di na ko kailangan mo SSH sa sa server. I know nga, wag na topic siguro nandiyo sa inyong mga kuan. So, nasa error. So, access denied, root user, oh yeah, problem. Mali ang kuan, configuration. So, I could edit that one. That is not the root, it is Forge. So let's deploy again. And then let's check my server and check the databases. We have, yep, DNSC Laravel. It's here. Okay, let's go back and let's wait until this deploy now is done. So it's success. So let's go back here and try to register. So Edwin, Encomienda, that's it. Register. It's taking some time. It's my internet. Yep, it's there. I can log in. I was able to, register. Then here, create new post. Pretty much working. Diba? There you go. So na-host na siya, di ba? What do you think? How long did it take? It's less than 10 minutes, I guess. Di ba? Less than 10 or 15 minutes. So I've already deployed our application. And as you can see, it's not secure. So what's nice with Forge, you can add SSL certificate. That's encrypt. Obtain SSL certificate, because if you have a website with not secure, no one will visit your website because it's unsecure. So it's not secure. So that's why no one will visit, because of this feature, SSL certificate, let's encrypt. It will generate us a free SSL certificate for our website. So it's installing. As you can see, it's installing. So after installing, for sure, let's wait for some few seconds. So it's taking its time to install. There are a lot of things here nga inyong magamit sa inyong application. Queuing, scheduling, installed. So it's installed. So activating, Hit refresh. Hit refresh. It's taking time to activate. Active. Hit refresh. And boom. So you have now the SSL certificate and it's now your connection is secure. How easy and awesome is that? Di ba? So, mo na nga ginagamit na ko ni siya is to avoid server management. Kapoy na kayo sige kuan, mag-code pa ka, mag-manage pa kasi mong server. So, a lot of things to do. Instead of writing good code, good project, good code, worry sa mong server because you have now this service. This is production ready deployment. Pwede na rin siya pang kuan. Any more questions? So, wala na. So, na-convince na mo. So, napura naman ko kanigkuhan. Na maligya og for Laravel framework, kanang Forge sir, pwede ba mag-use og laing framework? Yes, pwede siya. Pwede man siya mag-post but as you can see kanina, di ba naman ito yung WordPress? Pwede siya mag-WordPress, pwede po ka, pwede ba siya Igniter, but most nga kung effective yun siya for Laravel. Okay, Laravel Forge is made for Laravel deployments. Dagan kay kon. Napag-advance aning Forge. Na sila yung gi-launch new product which is called Laravel Vapor. vaporlaravel.com. This is a serverless deployment platform for Laravel. So, but deep na siya. Advanced na kayo ni siya. Serverless na siya. But just to give you an idea. So, how you can deploy application using Forge. But if you deploy your application manually or you buy some a raw server, you would this. All you would do is this. Go to documentation and you need to install this PHP, all of these things, all of those stuff, and then managing domain pointing. So sa inyo pwede rin mo like puntahay. Batch ninyo, so may batch ninyo 2020. So like IT 2020 mo domain. Domain is so cheap. Cheap.com. Buy. So like IT 2020, DNSC IT 2020. Barato naman ganyan siya. $8. So barato na kayo. 8 USD to PHP. 428. 428 siya. So, this domain, pwede nyo siya magamit tanan kay pwede naman mo mag-subdomain like untahay, set h.dnsc IT 2020 like set s ana pwede naman mag-that, di ba? What I did, di ba, kay Edwin dnsc.edwin.com, di ba? So, I have also my root domain. So, kung root domain is my website. Hindi ang website. Muna akong website. Website. So daghan kay kung mga websites nga gipang-add sa kung subdomain. So basically, you can buy a domain for 400 for all the sections or sets. Then, pwede na ninyo magamit ang domain. Easy as that. Kaysa mangatod pa inyong ulo sa inyong nga so man sir, hindi na gimigang sir. Diba? Why take advantage of the available resources for you? Magkalot-kalot pa kasi mo ulo. Diba? Thank you sa pag-demo sa login po, sir. Thank you po. Okay. Good question po na siya kay para everyone makabalo po or makabalo sila sa sa basic authentication sa Laravel. So, Any questions? Any more questions? I think kato ang akong gusto ipakita sa inyo para lang makita mo sa overview of how does model view controller works in Laravel. So how you've learned also how to add CSS or Bootstrap. You learn also how to add JS or sa mga JS files like jQuery. Then you learn also how to set up the basic authentication. And don't worry if wala ninyo nakuha tanan because this meeting was recorded. So recorded na siya. So pwede rin mo take tanaw sa this event. So more questions? More questions? Tingog po mo kay. Marag wala ko in private man din ako. No. Send to everyone. Private man din. So muna link sa katotong gibuhat karon. So that's my my personal website kanang dnc.edwin.com muna ang katotong gibuhat sa demo. So kuan pod yan ang do you think na kuan ninyo na nakuha ninyo? Okay, mag-demo tayo later this afternoon. Thank you po. Thank you Soratos. Thank you Ubay. Thank you Carol, Jane. Thank you Jelly. Thank you Arlene's. Thank you Rhea May. Thank you Mira, Jason, Napalakan, Marlo, Maricor. Thank you. Gulanes, thank you. Dilalamon, Maria Angelica, thank you. Napalakan, Marlo, thank you. Melanie Dupas, wala sir, kay sige ra kong kagawas sa recording na lang kumutanaw niya po. Thank you kay sir. Thank you po, Melanie. Honey, thank you. Thank you, Lady Ben. Rosel. Thank you, Tilos. Thank you. Francisco, thank you. Thank you, Hazel. Rhea May. Michelangelo, thank you. Mary Jane, thank you. Thank you. So if you have more questions or anything, Ibanez. Sa taon niya, sir. Good question. So mag-unsa taon niya. So basically we have discussed everything. So we have discussed about web development. We learned Laravel. Its context. I mean, it's what Laravel is, and then we learn the basics of CRUD operation. So in later afternoon, atong buhaton is apply those things na atong na-learn. So karon good siguro after this you can recap or ask the video from your teacher sa atong na demo. So after 1 p.m. I mean on karong 1 p.m. okay, makakuha na mo confident na mo to do the hands-on. cancel ta later. Mag-what? 1 p.m. I guess 1 kumaga work hours 8 p.m. So work hours so 1 p.m. So let's take a break for 12 p.m. and then let's go back on 1 p.m. Mag-discuss pagka-version sa Laravel unya, sir, versions unsay pasabot nimo sa versions kanang iyahang mga kuan. So Laravel, if you want to know, Laravel has many versions now. So I started from Laravel 5. We now have 6, we now have 7, we now have 8, and yearly coming Laravel 9. So basically, Laravel is releasing its major versions every 6 months, and it's releasing some updates every week, small patches, nga na. So nga na ang one deployments, release cycles sa Laravel. And most of the pod, mga community packages, di lang Laravel, daghan man pod sa daghan sa mga sa internet, daghan kayo research. Mga sikat mong karon yung mga yung mga tools sa web development is Laravel, CodeIgniter, WordPress, React.js, Vue.js, AngularJS, Svelte, and then dagan pa kayong mga Nova. Wow! Nice, kabalo ka sa Nova. Nova is one of the product of the Laravel company. Okay, ang Nova is an admin panel for Laravel, because Laravel Nova was born para say for example, I want to build a shopping website. So karon, a shopping website needs to manage products in the back end, di ba? Di ba yun mo makita like lazada.com, di ba? Like Lazada. Do you think kanilang ang ilahang gibuhat? For sure, they have back-end for this admin panel. So, Nova is isa panel or isa admin panel to manage the administrative jobs, like uploading pictures, uploading new products, making some sale, good. So, kani pong mga sliders diri kani sa admin man nila gilabuhat. So, kani sila admin ang nagabuhat ani. So that's the use of Laravel Nova, para pang admin siya, para kapoy man gud siya i-build. Kay kung mag-build kag admin from scratch, mag-build pa kag admin from scratch, mag-build pa jud kag from scratch sa imong website, it's a too complete different kumbaga products sa imo kumbaga big things to do. So kapoy na kay siya. So that's why Nova is built or born because of actually we're using Laravel Nova. So actually I have this project. So locally I have this project. This one. So Laravel Nova. This is Laravel Nova. So we're using Laravel Nova. So basically you can create a lot of kumbaga dali ra kaayo nimo mabuhat ang mga basic things like adding posts, adding products here, dali ra kaayo siya. Pero this is advanced, or this is different from our karon atong topic karon. Pero this is one of their product where I'm using it every day sa akong job, because I'm building also, because this project we are actually if you're familiar with Calendly, this is a startup company. So this is kung startup pa ba sila karon, bro. This company is trusted by LinkedIn, Zendesk sila. So kani among buhaton karon. So this is one of my project today. nga ginabuhat. So we are replacing this project. So magbuhat ko og buhat nga ni pod. So karon, as you can see, nga ni siya. So mag-set ka og like kanini nga ni siya mga appointments, nga na. So nga na siya. So amo rin siyang replace eventually because nami ko like karon I'm like building five APIs, separate APIs, separate modules, separate Laravel projects to connect into a single product. So a single product accessing 4-5 different APIs to do its job. Why it's separated? Because we are targeting that this project can replace Calendly, or we can market it as a different product, as well as we can use it in our own product na i-build before. So, kumbaga, hitting a lot of birds in one stone. Ana. Yan na siya. So, that's Nova. Actually, dahan sila dire. If you go to the homepage of Laravel, the ecosystem here is huge, really. We have Vapor, Forge, discuss natin yung Forge, Envoyer, Horizon, Nova, Echo, Lumen, Valet, Dusk, Socialite, Telescope, and a lot of things, a bunch of them that you can use in this community or in the ecosystem of Laravel. That's why it's the most popular PHP framework aside from WordPress. Okay? Smurf. Ang alangan veteran na dyan. Nakalimot na, uy. Good thing nga nag-research po mo about Laravel. Kung pala akong ibot, nung student ako. And unfortunately, I don't have computer. Wala akong computer sa una. So what I usually do is go to computer shop nga na. Dahil sa may Glimada, Free Bro sa una. So nag-aata ko dito nga nag-research ko mga computer. So also ko naghiram na ko computer sa akong mga friends, akong mga classmates kay. Mo computer. So but the point is don't dili hindrance sa kuan mamoy ka ng equipments or computers to di mo maka-learn programming because it depends sa inyo dito. Gusto gyud mo learn ng programming because school will give you ideas pero kanang imong gusto magamit sa work is sa imo gina siya. So you need to add some extra effort to learn new things beyond what is taught in the school. Okay. Basta magamit na ninyo sa inyong real job. You realize that pag maka-work na gid mo sa inyong tinod nga work. And then not everyone was blessed to work as a programmer after graduate because wala pa sila kumbaga pag-graduate nila wala pa sila knowledge, basic knowledge. But this time you're lucky because natagaan mo chance to attend this kind of event where you can start your journey to be a programmer someday when you graduate. So learn as much as possible before mo graduate because if you learn after you okay ra po nga pag graduate mo dito mo mag-learn pero mas gwapo siya di ba di na mo mag-standby like what I did I've been developing applications na ako graduate pag graduate na ako I don't need to find one actually pa dyan ako nagamit ako ang one TOR sa school wala wala pa na ako nakuha akong TOR sa school because I don't need my TOR to apply jobs. No, wala pa po. Actually, I never actually applied to any companies locally. So, when I graduated, pero katong nag-start pa ko is nangita di po mentor na ko nga para maka-learn ko. So the essence or the the lesson there is be ready to the real world after you graduate because lisod kay mga trabaho especially for this time nga COVID remote works are awesome mahal naman kayo ang Nova karon sir no Nova how much is Nova now ay mo magamit og Nova okay basta ano sa mo gamit og Nova kay kay 99 dollars so most likely 4 to 5k solo project it's $99 so $99 is 99 USD to PHP is 4,700 pesos so isa mo pagamit og Nova pag-build sa mo sa inyong application sa inyong learn okay so anything more sa paman natong storyahan so I think if you have more questions sige lang ask lang mo question as long as we have time pwede ko mo I'm happy to answer your question. Makita ba nimo tong mag-register sa bagong gihost sir? Makita ba namo ninyo? Yes, makita ninyo. Akong akong i-send sa chat. Kita man to ninyo. Ay, makita ba nimo tong mag-register sa bagong gihost sir? O kana, mo siyang link. DNSC, click na siya ng link kanang nasa chat. Pwede na ninyo i-kuan. Pwede na ninyo i-visit. Mag-register mo pwede. Add mo anything dito Anything? Questions? Mingaw na biya kayo diri. Wala mo tingog. Anyone?
Hi, sir.
Sana?
Nakalabot kasi mong pamakan.
So, gani, napod may ng project. Gani po akong project sa una. Pinatay ko oops. Wait. Ano yung project ako sa una? Oops. Ano yun? Ano yung project mo sa una po? No, Laravel din siya. Built with Laravel. And then, some of the most of sa mga akong applications nga gina-work karon is private siya inside inside sa mong company. Bawal siya disclose. Ako may questions. Hello ma'am. Pam.
Yes.
I think ma'am na discuss na po ang necessary things ma'am for them to do the hands-on later this afternoon. If they don't have questions ma'am or napakay gusto ikon.
Ay, wala na. So, kung wala na may questions, pwede na guro ta mag-lunch. Kay magbalik pa biya ta pag 1 p.m. mo. So, tagaan mo sila unsa sir activity or...
Yes po ma'am.
sige sir. So, karon i-end sa ako ng recording para masend na ko sa ilaha tong sa discussion. Para ma-review
Yes po,
nila, no?
Yes po ma'am. Yes po.
Then, balik ta diri by 1 p.m. tanan para mahatag ni Sir Edwin ang katong activity. Okay? So, thank you so much, sir. Pwede na ka mag-lunch. Happy lunch, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yo.
Ma'am, graduan ang activity, ma'am. Nag-end.
Pangutan na, lagbalik.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
May ubay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
My.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you, nawag sa kuha.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye
buddy.
bye.
Salamat, welcome.
Paano na po niya 1 p.m.
Hello.
Please tanawan ang recording
Salamat,
sa
Jackie.
para
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye bye. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Adios.
Ma'am,
Aske.
kita ang
Happy birthday, Adios.
Happy birthday po.
Sasuke.
Happy birthday.
hawa, manghawa.
Dati